Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to do Melina's challenge today, and it was making just some tabs out of scraps, whatever you might have laying around. So these are page tabs, and let's just say, grab something. This was your page. You could put it on like this, put it on like that. You could put it on a shorter page. You could put it any way that you want it. You could make these any size that you want to. They don't have to be a particular size. I just used a couple of little pieces that had been sent to me by someone and started it out by that, and these are just some little scraps that was in my stash. I'm going to use this card right here. This is a wild card from something. I don't know what. But I thought this width would be wide enough. So what I'm going to do, because most of my paper that I have left, my scraps, are thin because they're made out of copy paper. So I'd like to have it a little bit thicker just so it doesn't bend. And I sure did cut that crooked. Don't want it to bend when you open and close your journal, that kind of thing. So I'll use one of these to cut another one. It's kind of hard to hold in that thing. Right, we have 3, so let's start off with this one. And I think that's about the length, yeah. About the length that I want. Now I'm going to need to cover the front and the back with something. So on the back, I'm just going to cover it with this scrap piece of book page. The reason you're going to cover the back is because it's going to show in your journal. So make sure that you have something nice on the back. I am just putting that on there. And we did sell out completely of these, but we have more coming, so don't worry. We had ordered about 25, and I think they sold out in just a little while. But we have more on the way that should be here hopefully this week. So just hang tight. Okay. Now I've just got that on the back, and then I'll cover the front with something. Let's decide what we want to put on here. Well, it's going to need to be something that covers a little bit better than that. Let's use a scrap of this. Well, I just threw that in the floor. Yeah, let's use a scrap of that, maybe. I like that pretty good. And I'm just going to rough cut it out, and then I can always trim it a little bit better when I get it glued down. Now you can start off with your paper already covered and whatever design and thing that you want. And I didn't have a lot of scrapbook paper that was scraps, and all the digitals that I have printed that are scraps are just on a thin copy weight paper. And I didn't want to use just the thin paper because I wanted these to be thicker. So that's why I'm starting like this. And this too will just show you that you can make them out of whatever you have. If you have some old cards or even junk mail, anything that's a little bit thicker, because see that now it's a little bit thicker, so I don't mind making a tab out of that. Now I am going to use, on this one, this is going to be the bottom, I'm going to use our little tab punch, and I don't think, no, these are not sold out. We do have more of those. Tracy, I don't think those are sold out. I can see those from where I sit, and I just did my little tab punch on the corners. See? And then I'm going to ink mine up. And I guess we could do it on the bottom too, couldn't we? No, I don't want it on the bottom because that's the part that's going to go on my page. Now we need to decide what we want to put behind it. And that can be anything. It could be a wide variety of things. And I'm just going through my little box that I've got right here in front of me. And these are some Tim Holtz pieces that are just sitting here in front of me. I think I might do that right there. Now you can make this top as long or as short as you want. I'm going to cut that solid off right there just to make it a little bit shorter. And of course, these are not scrap pieces, but they're pieces that I haven't found a place for yet. And I thought, since they're the thickness that I need, that would be a good idea. So we're going to do that. Now I'm going to cut this piece off about right there. And then I'll have that to save. I'm going to go ahead and use my little tag punch on those corners. And we'll ink those up. Now these would be pretty with this a little eyelet in there too. Okay, I think I'm going to come down about that far with that. Like that. Maybe you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue down here. Now on the other ones I put a little doily behind that. But I don't want to cover that up, that writing up, so I'm not going to put a doily behind this one. But I'll put something else on it other than a doily. Okay. Now, I didn't bring that all the way down to the bottom just because I wanted to save more of that tag, but I think that will be fine. You'll be able to see that on the other side, but guess what? It's white, so it doesn't really matter. Or you can cover that if you don't like it. It'll depend on what journal I put it in, whether I cover it or not. Now, we're going to put something down here. Now, I've got a lot of this little scrap vintage lace laying around here. So let's make good a piece of that. We'll use about half of that. That little piece down there. We're not covering up all the writing. I'm going to let that hang off just a little bit. Then, what do we want on top of that? Well, you know, all of those little flowers that you never can find a place for because they're teeny tiny, we may put one of these on there. Let's go ahead and glue our lace down. We'll just kind of work it around and see what we're going to do. Okay, we'll put our lace down right there, not on my finger, down there. And let's see if we can put this flower down there without too much trouble. Because these are really tiny and I don't know that I would use them on a tag. Might use them on a pocket, but they're really little. And yeah, we'll have to cut part of this one off, but that's okay. Just going to cut the bottom of that. I think I'm going to let that be it on that tag, on that little tab. So that will be that tab. I've got this piece that I stamped and it's too wide. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. And we'll use my tag punch again. You can round the corners if you want. I like the tag punch. Now this one had some black around it where that was the stamp that I stamped it with, but I don't mind that. I'm just going to leave it. Then we'll find something to put in behind it. And I've got this little piece that was out of a collection. And I think that would look cute like that. So I think I'm going to use it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to leave the orange on there. You could cut the orange off if you don't like that, but I'm just going to leave it on. I wouldn't have to decorate this very much, I don't think. And I won't have to do anything to the top of that since it's already in a shape. So let's see. Yep, that looks pretty good. Then I'm just going to put something here. What about a piece of this? This is that I was using the other day, and I cut a piece off of it. Let's just go ahead and cut another piece out. You can't tear that. I'd like to tear it, but you can't tear it. It is pretty strong. And these pieces came from Temu. Had to think of it. And thank you guys all for checking on me and sending me messages. I am feeling a lot better today. I still have just the remnants. You know how you feel for a while once you've had a migraine for a couple of days. And I don't have like a ton of energy, but I'm good. I'm good. Alright, I like that. I like that on there. Cute. Now what shall we put right down here? I'd like to have, I think I'd like to have a label down there, but I don't know if I've got a label small enough. Let's look. Let's look through. I can put that on there at a little bit of an angle, and it just says one of a kind. If I can pick it up. You can also use the Tim Holtz Chit Chat and I don't know, the Tiny Talk or whatever the other one is. Small Talk. You can also use those on here too. That'd be cute. So there is another tab. Alright, let's do one or two more, and then I mean, you guys have got it. Y'all know exactly what you're doing. You don't need me to show you, but I like showing you. I like getting on here and showing you what I'm doing. Okay, let's use these two pieces. This says London Bridge, and this one says 1913. Something about Philadelphia engineering. So I'm going to use my little tab punch, or tag punch. I gotta call that right. It's called a tag punch, Edith. And I'm going to cut those corners. And I'm using the second size. This is the large, medium, and small. This one will be a little bit bigger, but that'll be alright. I like some of my tabs bigger. Alright, now on this one, I think I will put a little doily in behind it. Maybe even one like this and bring in a little bit of color. Let's just cut a piece of this off. Let's see what that's going to look like. Don't want to cover up my 1913. I think I'm going to bring it over that way. And I'll cut that excess off. And then on this side, I think I might put a little flower. Let's see. What about this little one? Okay, I'm going to put that there, and I'm just going to wrap that piece around. That will work. This is such a good way to use up scraps. I know Melina said she got this idea off of someone else's channel, and she has it under her video. So you guys make sure that you go over and check that out and watch the other lady's video, because this is a great idea to use up scraps. Oh, I'm liking that one. Okay, we're going to put some glue down through here. Oh, sorry, I had to cut that out. I just had a sneezing fit. Alright, I'll bring that down a little bit. Oh, I like that one. But I got it a little crooked. See if we can fix it real quick before the glue dries. Oh yeah, I like that one. Show you how this would look on a edge of a page. You could put it on there like that. Or you could put it on there like that. Or if it stuck out too much for you, like Melina said, you could bring them on down. But I kind of like that like that. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I like that. Well, I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys. What about let's make one more? I said one was all I was going to make, right? And then I was going to stop. But you know what? I can't stop. And these are just some of the Tim Holtz. Some of them are curator. Some of them are just from different collections. And they're the small little pieces. I'll bring them up here where you can see them. See what I'm talking about. They're just some of the small pieces and some pieces that I haven't found anything to do with yet. So I'm thinking this is the perfect opportunity to use some of these. Now you could most definitely just use your scraps. But like I said, most of my scraps are pretty thin. So it's using them in something like this would be a little bit, they'd be real flimsy unless I put a lot of things behind them. So I'd rather kind of go this direction and just use some of these pieces. Kind of like that. I see I haven't found a place to use that, so this is a good spot, I think. Let's try that one, I think. Maybe. So set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and punch my little corners. Now, like I said, I just like it better punched. You could round them. I think Melina rounded hers. I like the punch, but either one works perfect. Let's see. I might use the small one on this because it doesn't have very much room up there. I just can't pick anything up today for some reason. Alright, now this is a long one this way, which I don't mind because you could always glue part of that down and leave that for a little, tiny little tuck area. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down, but I'm trying to decide if I want something behind it. Now it's got a butterfly on it, but it's kind of going in the wrong direction. So I'm wondering, wonder. No, don't like that one on there. See, this is a little tiny rose. Let's see what this would look like on there. That would be hard to use most places. Oh, I think that'd be cute. Yeah, you can see that. And you could still put something else over here if we wanted to. We could put a little tiny number there or something. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and glue this before I decide I want to do something different. No, I'm not. I am going to do something different. I'm going to ink before I glue. Let's clear that right there. I don't want to have my tab too big. Okay, so that works there. Okay, I don't really want to cover up all of this writing on here, so I don't know that I'm going to put anything else on it. So we're going to finish up with this one, and I've got this little tiny number, and I'm going to put it up here if I can hold on to it. It's so little. Just a little bitty one. I'll put that at an angle right there. Well, my paper towel stuck to it. And then I had this little scrap piece on one of these, and I just cut it out. It's like a stamp. I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you up close. It's like where you'd stamp it at the post office. So I'm going to try my best to get the backing off of that. Make this look like it's been stamped a few times. Put that right there, and then I just got this little piece of my washi that has a signature on it. This is the washi that we have in stock. This is, I think this one is the vintage letter. And I just had a little scrap of it, and I'm going to put it on the side right there. Now let's trim that off. And I think that's all we need to trim off. Now let's see if I can show you up close. Ignore my fingers, they got glue all over them. There you go, there's that one. I didn't want to cover up all of that because I like that May 9th, 1929. I like that kind of thing. So, alright, I think you guys have got the drift. You know how to do these. But I just wanted to do a few with you and talk to you while I was doing that. So there they are. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, you can use anything that you have, any kind of scrap that you have, to make these. They're very easy and simple, and they'll look great in your journals. Alright, we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.